If you're a Canadian employer who's wondering about the process for securing a work permit for your foreign worker, well, the process will be dependent on whether or not you will need to apply for a labor market impact assessment for that employee, or whether or not you fit into one of the exemptions. If you fit into one of the exemptions, then you will have to submit what is called an offer of employment through the Government of Canada's employer portal. And so the process for securing a work permit, a Canadian work permit for a foreign worker, typically has two stages. There is the initial stage where the employer either gets authorization from the government to offer that job to a foreign worker through by applying for an LMIA, or the first stage may entail the employer submitting what's called an offer of employment to the Government of Canada's employer portal. And then once that first stage has been completed, then the actual work permit application gets submitted online so that the IRCC, the immigration authorities, can make a determination on the employee's eligibility. Now, the first stage, and we've addressed this in previous videos, entails either getting consent from the government in the form of an LMIA, which would also include posting job advertisements locally for a set period of time, and trying to identify suitably qualified Canadian citizens or permanent residents, and after doing that successfully, then using that as a basis to do stage 2, which is to submit the application. If it's a position that fits into one of the LMIA exemptions, then still in stage 1, the employer will need to submit an offer of employment. And the offer of employment really is the employer saying that I am going to be offering a position to a foreign national, and these are the benefits, the salary, and so on that this employee is going to be compensated at. Okay? And then the immigration authorities will, once that is done, they issue what's called an A number, and that number is then included in the actual work permit application, which is stage 2. And the work permit application is technically submitted by the employee. Okay, so the work permit application is submitted by the employee, but is supported either by an approved or positive LMIA that the employer would have gotten, or is supported by the A number, which comes after the employer would have submitted their offer of employment through the employer portal. So stage 2 is where the employee submits this work permit application. Okay, and then once that application is submitted, then the employee waits for the IRCC to make its determination as to whether or not that employee has the requisite experience and the skill sets and the education, and meets the education requirements that are specific to the particular job type that the employer wants the employee to fill inside Canada. So this then makes clear that yes, a positive LMIA or a submitted offer of employment are good, but they do not conclude the process, and neither do they guarantee the approval of the work permit. The employee's eligibility must also and will also be taken into consideration by the immigration authorities when they're making their determination. But in a nutshell, that is the process that an employer will need to go through if they're wanting, or if you're wanting to apply for a Canadian work permit, or to assist a prospective employee who's a foreign national with applying for a Canadian work permit. I trust you found value from this video. As always, remember to like our videos so others may see more videos like this. Subscribe to our channel, and check us out on go.gooselaw.com. Thanks. See you again.